Good afternoon, hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Yes, I'm knelt next to our spare bed with loads of food on it. No, I'm not going to start rolling around, smothering myself in Marmite. I'm going to talk about my race day nutrition for Ironman Wales, which is this weekend in a few days. If you're watching this and you're planning your own nutrition, please don't be swayed by anything I say or do. Stick to what you know and stick to what you've tested. Everything here is things that I've tested and tried. So let's start from the beginning. Now, I am working with Total Endurance Nutrition ongoing, but we're starting just with race nutrition. I'm easing myself into being like nutrition coach because I haven't done anything like that really properly in the past. Now, I'm told now that race day fueling actually starts a couple of days before, so I have a plan about how to carb load for 2 days before. I'm going to cover that in the videos that will come out later this week when I get to Wales, because of course that is the couple of days before the event. And I've looked through the meal plan, and in honesty, it's not really much more than I eat normally anyway, so I should be okay. Anyway, let's get stuck into it. So for breakfast, I will have a bowl of porridge with a banana and some chocolate protein powder in it, more for flavour than anything else. I'm not allowed to get the porridge bag out of the cupboard because I always spill it, so I'm just going to leave that downstairs. You have to imagine it. I'm also going to have a bagel with some Marmite on. Now, this is a case of just getting down everything you can. When it's 3 o'clock in the morning, you can't always get everything down that you want to, can you? But it's just going to be a case of getting as much food down me as I can, allowing time for toilet motions to happen before the swim. So I'll probably be eating about 3:30 in the morning, and the swim starts at 10 to 7. So that's plenty of time, sort of 2.5 hours-ish. And then going to go on to, that's 3.5 hours, isn't it? 4:30. It's a later start at Wales because the sun doesn't rise till later. Anyway, going down to the swim. 15-20 minutes before the swim, I'll have an OTE super gel, 40 grams of carbs. An Ironman swim for me is going to take about an hour and a quarter, so it's a fairly decent length of time to be exercising for. So if I could be digesting some carbs during the swim, that'd be great. So that's that. Moving on to the bike. Now, full disclaimer, this is their sponsored element, so I do partner with Full Steam Nutrition. They don't pay me, they do just provide me some free carb mix, so I wouldn't use it if it wasn't any good. The main reason I use it is because it's got loads of different flavours. I find that throughout a long event, especially, I get bored quite easily or sick quite easily of the flavour of what I'm eating or drinking. So you'll notice that throughout the things I'm talking about, there's a lot of variety. So I'm going to have 3 bottles on the bike. I covered this in my bike spec video, which went out yesterday. 3 bottles on the bike. I'm going to have 1 red berry, 1 apple cherry, and 1 raspberry ice. In honesty, raspberry ice isn't my favourite, but it's really like tangy and refreshing and almost a bit like mentholy, so I think that's a good little variety to have there. I'm also going to be dropping in a High 5 Zero tab for some electrolytes. I know that companies like Precision Hydration and some others do stronger electrolyte tabs, but in honesty, these are the only ones I've used. I've used the flavoured ones in the past, but I've just gone on to the neutral ones because this is all flavoured here. And pH is pretty expensive, and these are about £4 a tube, so until they start throwing me free stuff, I'm just going to use these for the time being. James did use pH at the Deca though and really rated it, so maybe there's something in it. Bottles, fluid done. So I'll carry about 2.2 litres on the bike with me, then after that I'll probably go on to water. I might pick up some Gatorade on course. It's not very strong. I've tested it a little bit, I've not really used loads of it, so I'd be hesitant. I prefer water if I'm honest. I will make this up with between 40 and 50 grams of carbs per bottle, so that's about 150 grams in the 3 bottles. Moving on to bike actual food. Now, I will have some solid food, but not a huge amount. So solid foods, which I'll probably have early on in the bike, is a Highgate's flapjack and a chocolate saurine bar. There's about 40 grams of carbs in that and about 20 grams of carbs in that. Sam from Total Endurance Nutrition tells me about the difficulties with digesting things like that. So the earlier you have it on the bike, the more time your body's got to digest it before you get onto the run, and hopefully less toilet issues. Solid food. Going on to chews, again, I have a good mixture of chews. Now, I'll probably go through these sorts of things first. So there's SIS Beta Fuel, 1 in orange flavour and 1 in a lemon flavour, just to mix it up. There's about 40 grams of carbs or 48 grams of carbs in each one of these, so that's just under 100 grams together. And then some High 5 energy gummies. These aren't the highest quantity of carbs, but they're a different sort of chew. They're a bit chewier, they're a bit more fruit pastely than they are like a Cliff Blocky sort of chew texture. Something different, I quite like it. They don't get very sticky, they don't taste too sickly. The 2 bags combined have 42 grams of carbs in, so I'll have those as well. Towards the end of the bike, I'll also have some Power Bar shots. They've got the cola flavour and they've got some caffeine in as well. They've not got a lot of caffeine in, but just a little bit, so that should help with just perking me up a little bit towards the end. These things, I can open both bags and tip 2 into 1, so quite good storage wise. I've only got a big pocket at the back of my tri-suit, so that's what I'll be using. There's 49 grams of carbs in each bag about, so there's 98 grams of carbs in total between the two. And then gels wise, I carry gels just in my pocket, so I don't put them in a bottle or anything. I'm going to have, or plan to have, 5 OTE super gels throughout the ride. I'm going to try and have 1 per hour. That's the way I'm going to try and break it down. I'm expecting to be on the bike between 5 hours 40 and 6 hours, depending on the weather, depending on performance and those sorts of things. So this in total is about 630, 640 grams of carbs. So I'm allowing some space there for me to drop something, or for me to lose something, or for me to not quite fancy something and pick up something on course like a banana or a Gatorade, or perhaps be a little bit lower than what I planned. So that's about 90 to 100 grams of carbs per hour. But I'm not going to worry too much about that. I'm just going to try and eat little and often, get what I can down me. With you working at such low intensity on the Ironman bike, it's not like I don't need to be hitting 100 grams an hour, in my opinion. Okay, run course. I'm just going to take 3 gels with me. By the time I get on the run, and by the time a lot of you guys get on the run, you're often sick of all the stuff you've been eating and drinking. It's quite difficult to get this quantity of food down you, or the sweet stuff, or the sticky stuff. It's not pleasant. I'm going to, if I have gone off of food, force 1 of these down per hour. I know that I go really well off of these gels. I know that I really like them. 1 per hour isn't very much, is it? Like 1 per lap on the Ironman bike, on my run course, I can get down me. If I'm getting 40 grams an hour of gels, really I'm only looking for another 20 to 30 to 40 grams an hour. I can pick that up in Coca-Cola, I can pick that up in crisps, in bananas, and whatever else is on the run course. Just pick up little and often. I know that I haven't got a huge amount to hit. Something else that Sam's talked to me about is occupying myself mentally. So if I'm thinking about how many carbs in things that I'm picking up, it gives you something to focus on, something to work towards, so I like that. Sam has also prompted me to use the special needs bag. It's not something I've used in the past, but I am going to use it at Ironman Wales now. And I'm going to put a few treats in it, a few things that might be a bit different to all this sort of stuff, but things that I can't really carry. I'm going to put some Jaffa cakes in it. I'm going to put some Ritz crackers in it. I'm also going to put a bottle of like either plain electrolytes or some carb mix in there, just so that if I need something like that, I've got the option to pick stuff up out on the course. I don't know how practical it is in reality. The last time I did the event, special needs seemed to work really well. The volunteers did a great job of like shouting it out so people had everything when they got there, but who knows. I think that is about it. I'm not an expert, okay? I have done Ironman Wales before, and I've done 3 Ironman events now, full distance events. So I've done this sort of thing, and I know this is what I work well off of. I'm accepting now that I'm probably going to have to need a toilet stop on the run, but with my run hopefully being about 4 hours, I'm not going to worry about it too much. And that is it. That is everything I think I'm going to eat and drink on the run course, on the Ironman course. Let me know down below what your thoughts are. I'm not going to change any of this, so please don't try and steer me towards trying something different. But if you've got any thoughts, if you want to share what you're having, please do let me know down below. You can probably tell I'm getting a little bit nervous now about the event coming up, and looking at all this sort of thing makes me a bit like, oh, this is actually happening. But just wanted to share what I'm going to be eating and drinking on the day. Hopefully see you on the beach.